evening, everybody. On this episode of Kicking It 316, we're going to start off with our Kick It or Pass It portion of the show. That's the segment when we get into the sneakers. What's dropping? If you like it, you're going to kick it. If it's something that you don't like, you can pass it. And then we're going to get into the it portion. On the it portion, that's the meat of the show. We're going to deal with mask on or mask off. We're going to recap part one of Culture of Hurt, the journey. We're also going to unpack that and deal with creating safe spaces, also accountability and or responsibility. We've got a great show lined up for you all. Thank you for kicking it with us, 316.
Yo,
what's up? What's happening?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm just excited about tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling tonight's show before it even happens. You know, we got some, extraordinary people on, I don't mind kicking it with you guys, but every time we get some superstars on, I get extra happy.
Yeah.
We ain't mad at you, brother.
Can we just give a shout out to the comment section from last week?
Oh, they were live.
They was all the way live.
They were live. Let's keep the energy. Let's keep it going. Share, subscribe.
Yeah, that's the key, y'all. Share and the subscribe. So go ahead and share this thing out. Go ahead and send it to somebody's DM. Shari, where's Huntsville at? Huntsville, if you're in the building, make sure you represent Florida.
Florida, where you at? Come on, Florida, stand up.
Florida. Hold me down, Florida. Y'all let us know where you're at. What's been going on with you all? I'm just sending some invites out. We're getting ready to kick this thing off in just a few seconds. Let's recap a little bit. What's been going on with y'all, man? How was your week? Your weekend?
Go ahead.
God has been good. Church is always a blessing. We started this family life series, a sermon preaching series that I'm preaching called Family Feuds. So we are dealing with the nucleus of the community, which is the family. And so pray for our series. Shout out to West Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. So that's that. And then, of course, Sunday was Mother's Day. And, we had to treat our mothers. I had to treat my wife, the mother of my children. Well, so
tell us about that, man. What'd you end up doing on yesterday?
Yeah, I saw some pictures, man.
We're not putting out pictures, man, because we never know. We went out. I rented a boat. Me and a colleague of mine, we rented a boat, and actually, they let us captain that thing. No captain was on board, and I drove that thing from the harbor out into the middle of the sea, like Gilligan's. No, I'm just playing. We didn't go all the way out there. We were actually close by the beach. We went around Star Island, and we were in the inlet in the Bay Area. So it was pretty good, man. We saw some dolphins, and we had a good time. We just treated our wives so wonderful Mother's Day. Even though it was raining, they had a wonderful time.
That's what's up. That's what's up, brother. Ted, what's going on with you, man?
Man, nothing, brother. I'm trying to think about what I've been doing other than working. Man, that's it, man. Just here working, man. Happy to be back on. Missed you all last week, but I'm happy to be back.
Yeah.
Happy back, man. Matter of fact, I leave out Wednesday. I have to go to Chicago for work, so I'll be there for a couple of days. So the grind don't stop.
Listen, if you go to Chicago, go to what's that place called? So what? Giordano's.
Giordano's already, bro.
Okay.
We went there when we came there last time.
Oh, that's right. Giordano's is the bomb.
It's all
Can't
right.
make that deep dish.
It's all right. No, I'm kidding. It's all the way live.
All the way live.
I'm here for the hate, y'all. I'm here for the shade.
Yo, since we shady, how was your weekend, man? How was your weekend?
Since we shady house, that's so shady. Dog.
I'm saying. I knew you guys had a lot of clouds in Huntsville. So what's up? How was your weekend? How was the shade?
Okay. Yo, Juan dropping some shade. He says Ted is making a guest appearance. What's up, Juan? Fellow sneakerhead. Yeah, the weekend was good, man. We had a great time with church, and we hung out with some of our close friends here in with KP and his family for Mother's Day. We cooked them brunch and ended up staying and making dinner, and the kids just had a good time.
Wow. That's good.
So that was cool, man. And then I guess, can we just talk a little Doji? You know what I'm saying? Let's dive into a little.
Before we go there,
Mhm.
can we tell them what's coming up in a couple of days? I believe it's 2 days.
Somebody started the big 4-0.
Somebody
the
about
big
to join the
4-0.
40 club, man.
I'm 35. What you talking
35
brother.
plus 5.
Somebody about to join the 40 club in 2 days. I believe it is.
May 12th, man. Your boy would be 40, man.
You don't look a day old. You don't look a day older than 45.
I feel it. I do feel it. I really do feel it, man. So yeah, man. Another year. I'm grateful. Listen, y'all. Y'all know it was 2012, man. The whole heart issue.
Yeah,
y'all boys was there, man. Y'all
Yep.
came, y'all swung through the hospital, man. Thought it was over for your boy. We thought it was over for your boy, but God said He's not done with me.
9 years later, brother.
And 9 years later, man, I'm still here, man.
Praise the Lord.
And so we're good, man. We're good. So yeah, let's deal with this Doji a little bit, man. So each of us at some manner we got into this Doji coin, man.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know, it's a crypto currency, and we caught wind of it back in March. I think Gio,
February, March.
I think Gio, you're the one that kind of told me to grab some. So I grabbed a little. Jess still here. What's up, Jess? Tony, man, listen, man. The people are here.
She said my niece asked why I'm not saying hi to her. Hi, Kaylee.
You better do your job. Vera, next time we gotta get everybody together. So so we grabbed some of this the Doji, and I just was like, yo, let's just see what happens, you know. And it started to take off, y'all. And I thought I was gonna be in it for the long run. But Saturday it started taking a dip, and I hopped up off that train, y'all. I cashed out. I'm out. I got my bread. I'm waiting for my bread to hit my account, man. And I'm not looking back. I ain't looking back.
I ain't mad. I got in at Doji when it was 0.06 cent, and as of today, 400% return.
Yeah.
So
I ain't mad.
Can't be mad.
I'm not mad.
That's where I am. But the thing about it is, unlike the both of you, I think you guys took. Well, I don't want to speak for you. I don't know if you guys took everything out, but I left some in.
I still got a couple coins in there.
Yeah, I left some in because it's going to go back up. I think this is actually a good opportunity. I'm not. Don't take my advice for it, but I would buy some. If it goes below 30 cents, I'm buying more. This is where I'm at.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If it drops on there, I might tip back in there, but I'm out because I'm waiting for my money to cash me out. And I might come out of retirement.
I cashed out. I did cash
out of retirement.
Buy some shoes.
I took some profits. I mean, it's smart. You take some profits and then leave some in there. Let's see what it do. I mean, like I said, we got in at 6 cents a share.
It was crazy.
I mean, you whatever happens.
The only problem is I wish I would have invested more, but we didn't know. No one knew. Yeah. No one knew, right?
Croc Hicks knew though. Croc Hicks knew.
What?
Our kids had all the shares, all of them.
He did.
I had a little something.
When he pulled up in the Benz next week,
Croc Hicks was buying shares. Croc Hicks was buying shares while we were sleeping. We didn't have a conversation about it. Like, how you doing? Like, man, I got nothing in there. Tomorrow, I'm like, yo, son, I got a whole bunch. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening?
Just what I would do. Y'all see, I haven't done any shoe share in a while, really. Outside of my those joints I showed last week. I just put a little 100 here, you know what I'm saying? A little 100 there, and just see what it do. But listen, man, the people are here. My brother's on here because anytime y'all see somebody talking about some Gators,
he's on again. He's doing this again.
Let this know that's Crockett. That's my brother. That is not me. Yes, my brother.
You fans are gonna be upset with you.
My brother is one of those individuals who does not want his own Facebook, but he wants to use my Facebook to lurk. So. If somebody is commenting, it's not always me. Y'all, let's go ahead, man. Let's bring can we bring our guests out?
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. They're patiently waiting, but we got to get them out. They're jumping up a bit.
Let's do this. If y'all would please hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's get this out, man. Let's get this out. Let's bring them out, man. Gio, let's go ahead and bring them out, and you know what I'm saying. If you want to go ahead and roll them out here, introduce them, man. Just kind of do your thing, man.
So we have New York's finest, you know what I'm saying, all the way from BK, Lex, Alexis, Lexi, Madrid. She is in the building. Chaplain, Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anybody who knows her knows she is the real deal.
All the way.
A preacher of all preachers. Great personality, and most of all, she is a sneakerhead, y'all. And she's a wife and a mother. Happy Mother's Day to 3. I call them the Polo Boys. The Polo Boys. They models. They models. Yeah. So yeah. So what's up, Lex? Thank you for coming on. Let's go on to the next wonderful person. We went to school together with this young lady. She has made history. Come on, somebody. The first youth director that is woman from South Central Conference. Come on, somebody. I think the mother of 4, and she's awesome. A great preacher, a great motivator, a great young person's advocate. And we're just happy to have you. And look at that. She's a mom. She has a baby right on her lap, and as it should be.
Kim, before we bring on our next guest, can we circle back to Lex and just let her kind of tell us a little something about herself?
We could do that. We could do that. She's looking like what? Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak, Lex.
Kim, girl, what
Hey, y'all see how this gonna go already?
Yeah, we already know what time it is.
Listen, me and Lex was at Oakwood. Lex was a sneakerhead before being a sneakerhead was cool. Lex
come on now, Kim. Come on.
Caribbean chick rocking sneakers in the gym where everybody else was trying to figure out how to walk in them little ugly heels.
That's not true. That's not true, Kim. Kim, you have to remember well. She will only rock Timberlands. That's it. Just Tim.
No, Tim's and sneakers. Yo, I remember because her feet were so small, and I'd be like, yo,
that's New York. You're right. That's New York.
I could do
that. Yeah.
Pray my soul. I have a pair of sneakers for my long white robe, and I'm trying to intercede for me that when Jesus comes, that He let me take at least 2 pairs.
At least 2.
He said He not, but I just
at least 2 pairs.
At least 2 pairs.
You need your grails.
I'm having 2.0s.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Lex,
Kim,
where you at?
Oh, Lex, okay, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm now in Southeastern Conference. I work with the youth department, youth ministries. I also am a campus minister for D1, which is FAM, FSU, and UF, and just all in our schools. Also work for our schools. I'm also a marriage and family therapist.
Nice.
So I also do counseling and
all the things. Every
She's a superstar.
And I got these children that I'm trying. The Lord said He don't give you more than you can bear. Yes, He did.
Kim, talk to us. Where are you at? What's been going on?
Man, I'm good. I'm just here in Nashville trying to hold down this youth director position that I was appointed and anointed for in the middle of
I like that.
pandemic. Okay.
Yes, I like that.
With no, there was no manual. There was no onboarding. It was just, hey, you youth director, and now there's COVID.
That's it.
So on top of that, just I'm doing that. I am the founder of the Push Initiative, which is a social justice initiative for youth and young adults that churches can customize when they're not really sure how to get involved with social justice, but you need to do something.
Push.
So you can either be conservative or you can be super liberal. It's customizable. So Push Initiative is something that, God gave me in the middle of everything that was going on with George Floyd. And then I'm a mama, I'm a wife. And all of those things.
Push.
Good stuff.
I like it.
Understand your rights, show up, and hold them accountable. That's what it stands for.
Hey, I love it.
That is awesome. And you know what? I'm gonna apply to you what Lex said. God will never give you more than you can bear. So He appointed you in the middle of that pandemic because He knows you can take it, you can handle it.
Yeah,
and,
man.
we're just praying for your ministry. Yeah.
It was definitely such a time as this. So you know how you just know God put you right where you needed to be. So we're right where we needed to be. And God is good.
All right, all right, all right. Gio, who's next, man?
Last but not least, our big brother in the ministry, that one of the most innovative pastors that I know.
Say that.
Listen. Honestly, the little good that I do on any kind of media platform, if it's just a little bit of good, it's all because of Pastor Paul.
Oh,
AP.
stop it.
Yeah, I mean, they were nice. So he would allow me to call him. He'd say the first time to get my camera working. I think we were up to like barely 1 o'clock in the morning. It was a Friday night. Had to preach the next. I don't think he remembers, but yeah, he helped me troubleshoot it.
I was ready to judge, but your ox was in
You was ready to preach for me, man. You was going to preach for me. But yeah, man. So this guy's very, innovative, great preacher, awesome person, husband of one wife. He's like me. He's a PK, and I've known him.
When I die, man, I hope you speak about me like this, man.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest.
Speak over me.
That's Vanessa's job. That's good.
What's going on? And AP today since we're always on point.
Oh boy, listen. I was all amped to be on here with these young folk tonight, these young preachers coming out together until I heard y'all talking about somebody turning 40. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
You get the grace to show it.
But listen. I'll leave it. Yeah. Anyway.
Get you a note.
Listen, this is, and I just want to take the time right on the top to affirm what you guys are doing with this thing, man. This platform is crazy, innovative, creative, and I love seeing this happen in this space and how you guys are doing it, and you guys have stuck to it, and it is just inspiring. So, man, thank you for what you guys are doing here in this space. I was like, man, they're talking about shoes, and my shoes are like bruised with the little vinyl and zipper stuff on them from way back in the day. So yeah, but yeah, I'm looking to learn some stuff tonight. So good stuff.
Can you do us a quick favor, man? Can you tell us a little bit about the roundtable, man?
Oh yeah, so Pastors Roundtable, that is a weekly live stream that me and a couple of my buddies do, Dr. Dion Henry and Pastor Roger Wade, who is now over your way, Kim, up in South Central.
Thank you, and we thank you.
Oh yeah, he's good people. I had nothing to do with it though, but I'll take it. Thank you. You're welcome. But listen, it's a weekly live stream where we get to talk about. We bring on guests and we talk about the intersection of mission and structure in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And that's kind of where we started. When we saw this pandemic come on the scene, we were like, yo, there's a whole lot with our structure that, can I say this? I'm gonna whisper it to y'all that we felt that kind of within the structure of the church, it was already kind of out of kilter and maybe a little messed up, but we saw that here was an opportunity that we have in this pandemic to do something. People say never, what is it? Something about a catastrophe. You never let a good catastrophe go to waste, or a good, whatever. And it's like, yeah, we felt that there was an opportunity for the church to be able to do some things that we used to talk about kind of behind closed doors or under the table. We wanted to take those conversations and put them out on Front Street and kind of normalize them. And so that was part of what we want to do. And so we've had some wonderful guests. We're in our third season now. So you can find us at the Pastors Roundtable. There's a YouTube channel by that name, their Facebook page by that name, Facebook group by that name, podcast by that name, that you can find us, their website by that name. So any of those spots, and maybe we'll drop a link in the chat. So if you guys want to check that out, please do.
That is what's up.
All right. Good stuff.
Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. It is 8:19. If you haven't already, please hit the like, please hit the share. It goes a very, very long way in helping us get this word out. All right, it's kick it or pass it. For those who don't know, this is the portion of the show where we dive into some sneakers, what's getting ready to come out. If it's something that you like, you would kick it. If it's something that you're not feeling it, it's no way. You're going to pass on it, right? It could be a soft pass, a hard pass, a no-look pass. But if you're not going to rock it, it's a pass. Pass it. You can definitely bounce it. All right, so up first, man, we got the Nike LeBron 8, Miami Nights. Listen, y'all, this shoe is going to drop May 11th. That is tomorrow at $180. Man, what y'all think about this shoe, man? This is something that you would kick or pass. Let's start with the man upstairs in the middle. Gio, what would you do?
No look pass.
Ooh, no look pass. Not feeling it.
Very quickly, no look.
But we know the context behind that.
We know
the
AJ.
context behind that because he doesn't like LeBron. We know the context.
That's it.
That's a lot of hate. That's a lot of hate.
Yeah, that's a lot of hate, man.
Okay, Ted, go ahead. Keep the energy going.
I think it's a kick it, man.
Of course.
I mean, not because LeBron. I mean, you got the Miami Vice Knights. How can you go wrong with a Nike in that colorway? I think if you are a Miami Heat fan, I know you're not a Miami Heat fan, and you can represent anything that Miami Heat. The new uniforms and everything. I think can't go wrong with it. So, I know Croc Kid's looking for something back there. So there you go. I'm talking about the champion Miami.
Yo. Can you pass the ball to me, man? Because I'm about to kick this, man.
Go ahead, Croc Kid, you got
it. It's a kick on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes, sir.
This is a kick, y'all. I'm kicking this every day of the week. I love the colorway. On top of it, it's air all around, and it's
gonna be comfortable.
It's gonna be comfortable, and it's 305. It's a Florida.
There's context between both of you and Ted.
If you look at my lights, you know what I'm saying. My lights.
Ted is a LeBron James. Ted is a LeBron James fan, and you were over at First Church, and we know they go hard for LeBron James over there too. So.
It's a dope shoe.
Context.
Listen, it goes with your worship hat.
It does.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
It does.
Get on board, man.
It does.
Exactly.
It does.
Get on board. Kim. What would you do? Is this something you would kick? Is this a pass? I see you shaking your head. Talk to us.
You're muted.
You muted.
So it looks comfortable, but it looks like average comfortable. It's not like something I'd be like.
Watch what you say now. We're talking about Vice Jesus.
It just looks average. I'm not about to pay $180
Come on now.
for average looking shoes.
It's a pass. It's a pass. It's a pass. So it's 2-2 pass. 2-2 passes. Let's go.
Anslem, AP, man. Talk to me. Something you
always on point. Always on point. Come on.
Hey, I gotta say, I'm a roll with the other brother that's currently in South Florida.
Oh, brother.
And this is gonna be a hard pass. The shoes look dirty, man. They look like they just paved the street and the asphalt is still hot and wet, and you walk all of those spots all over. Yeah. See that?
Looks like a pestos on it.
No way.
Wow.
Hard pass.
Wow.
Definitely a hard pass.
Come on, hey,
Lex.
They just look regular, schmegular. Like,
you see the
3-2. No deadlock.
No pressure, Lex. No pressure.
Well. I don't know. I drive the LeBron bandwagon. I'm the conductor.
Okay.
But I don't do, and I must say also, after the Dutch colors, them South Beach colors go hard. That Miami colors go hard.
Come on.
But I'm not a big LeBron fan of sneakers. I don't really rock. I'm real.
They look like robots.
I don't. I'm not a big LeBron fan when it comes to shoes. I only have a pair of the 17s, the what 17s, just because I just couldn't pass them up. But
it's all good. It's 4-2.
So that's a pass or a kick?
Yeah, man, huh? Nah, that's a pass, man.
That's a pass.
Ain't nobody ever got robbed for no LeBrons, bro. Ain't nobody ever got robbed for LeBrons.
Somebody said shoe carnival. Absolutely.
Let's see what the comment section is talking about,
brother.
Let me see. Let's see what the comments. Vera says she would kick this. All right, Vera. That's what's up, Vera.
Don't pick and choose, fam.
Juan
don't do
says clean the leg, no look pass. And then MD said 40% kick.
Mendo, come on, man.
That sounds like a pass. If you 40%,
like a
that's
pass.
a pass, right?
Yeah, 40% is a pass.
Ron just said hard pass. Dog. My own village. Dog, shoe carnival? This is a shoe carnival?
Shoe carnival. That's what I said.
Tashana says she'll kick it. Thank you, Tashana. 305 in the house.
Thank you.
No, not you, Jess.
That's
Jessica.
850. That's 850. Don't say 305.
Jessica, you'll pass this?
Yes, these look like when Payless was still open.
Come on,
Oh, wow.
Come on,
Wow.
Dallas.
This is so disrespectful.
All right.
Pay
Y'all got
less
this
on
one.
us.
The pass got this one.
We'll
What we
go
got next?
we'll go to the next one. We'll go to the next one. The next one should be better.
All right, we got
Oh,
the
the Kobe.
Nike Undefeated Pro Kobe 5 Hall of Fame. Listen, y'all, this shoe is gonna drop. It's gonna drop hot on May 12th. Somebody give it up for May 12th. It's a beautiful day. It's my birthday at 190 days on undefeated.com website. Listen, this shoe is gonna drop, and the second it drops, it's going to be gone.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. I'll go ahead and start this thing off, man. This is not a shoe that I would wear, but it's a shoe that I would grab. Like,
All right, now you
I would grab this shoe, hold on to this shoe. It's a beautiful shoe, and just the shoe itself, what it means, what it stands for. It's just bright. It's gonna be up there. So it's something that I would grab. I wouldn't wear this. It'll be tucked away. But yeah, it's something that I would kick for numbers' sake. Yeah, I'll kick this, but I wouldn't. It would never touch the court or the floor. Kim, what's going on? What you feeling?
I like them. I think they're hot. Now, I'm definitely not the sneakerhead that's going to buy shoes just to keep them in a box because G's going to come back. So
It's an investment. It's an investment.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm not going to like never ever like wear them every day, but like I'll bust them joints out on my birthday or like New Year's, like, you know what I'm saying, like a special occasion type shoe. I think they're dope.
Very good.
Communion shoes.
They match my hair.
Do this in remembrance of me.
It's like communion shoes.
Yes.
Remembrance of me.
Yes. Underneath my
What's
robe.
going on at that communion service?
Underneath my robe.
That's how they do it in Jacksonville, Doc.
That's a Louisville thing.
Duval.
Duval. Yo, I used to live in Duval.
So that's why I'm surprised you wasn't rocking the LeBrons like that. You Florida
Absolutely
stand up.
not.
Gold
They
and
look
purple.
like
That's the
Payless.
color of the bread and the wine, I guess. I don't know.
Lex, what's good? Is this something you can kick?
I agree with you, man. Those the ones those are grails, man. You gotta take them and just hold on to them. They I'm not a big Kobe silhouette. I don't like the Kobe silhouette. I admire it, but that ain't my thing. But those right there, definitely, you hold on to it. You can't rock them. You gotta keep them nice and icy.
Yeah. His shoes are definitely made for the court. They're not made to be out kicking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
they look like
they're for
Dr.
the court.
Scholl's.
But they do.
Them
They
easy
do.
spirits.
AP, I saw something on your face, man. It doesn't seem like you're feeling these, man.
So yeah,
Talk to us.
I can't say that I'm feeling these either. I'm gonna go back with that pass. What they made me think of, and some of you mothers are gonna probably get a handle on this. When you get your first pair of baby shoes, they take those shoes and they bronze them, they pour them, and just that's what it made me think of with the gold. That somebody had bronzed some baby shoes. But yeah,
Oh man.
so I have an acute case of plantar fasciitis. So when I shop shoes, or at least when I used to when I was more active and would get out and ball a little bit and whatnot, I would always be looking for, I wouldn't care who made the shoes, what they looked like. I just wanted them to be comfortable, to be able to have that arch support and all that. So for me, that's always going to be my first. Is can I wear them, and will I be able to walk for the next 2 days after balling in them or something? So I'm gonna pass on those though.
All right. Ted, talk to us, man. How you feeling?
So this because of Kobe's death, this is a shoe you have to get. And if you can get 2 pair, you get 1 pair and you put that thing on StockX or go tomorrow after you buy it. And then the other pair you can hold on just for nostalgia's sake. It's just because of his death. Anything that you can get your hands on that's from Kobe, it is, especially since his contract with Nike's up supposedly soon. You need to get anything you can now, and then either hold on to it or sell. Yeah, definitely. Because if you buy it for $190, you're gonna either sell it for $400 or $500 if not more. So
I like it.
Yeah, it's easy flip.
We got the Clemens family live in here.
I'm liking what you
Jay
think,
Clem said this is an investment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vera says she's thinking more of purses to invest in than shoes.
Listen,
Yo, Gio, man, what's up, man? Talk to us, man. I mean, I know you're a diehard Dwight Howard fan.
I am.
And we know his
Dwight
shoes,
Howard.
they never took off. He was sponsored by Dada.
So we got jokes today.
So talk to us, man. What would you do with this, man?
I'll kick those. I mean, I just like the fact that, again, this is one of these shoes. As Lex said, they are commemorating Kobe and Gigi. You have the numbers stitched in there, 24, 10, and 8. And I would definitely buy these. And as Kim said, I would probably rock those every now and again. Because you know me, it's hard for me to buy shoes and not wear it. And that's my problem. But yeah, so that's how it goes.
All right. The people are feeling this shoe for the most part. I'm seeing Jay Pat. She's saying kick. Juan saying I need these. The big brother Keith Allen. What's up, Keith? He's saying I need them. Wandra wants them.
Keith.
Everybody's feeling these shoes for the most part. Ted, man, up next, man. I need you to go ahead and set this shoe up, man. You're the one who converted me to Jordan 1s. I was not feeling Jordan 1s. Yeah, talk to us about this shoe.
Listen, so this is the Jordan Shadow 2.0. So there was a 1.0 that came out a little while ago, but this is 2.0. As you see, with the gray and black colorway, these will be releasing, I believe it's the 15th for $170. And I'll just kick it off and saying, if it is a 1, it's a kick it without a doubt. I gotta have it. I don't have the first pair of Shadows, so I gotta have the 2.0. And for everyone else, like I said with the Kobe's, if you know anything about Jordan 1s right now, these are the hardest shoes to get. Any Jordan 1 colorway is the hardest one to get, and the resale on them will be astronomical. Like I said, if you buy them from 170, I promise you can put them on Go, or StockX, or Flight Club, anyone else the next day, and sell it for $400 or $500. So even if you don't like the shoe, you should. Everybody right now is trying to buy the shoe. People that never wore sneakers before are buying shoes because they know they can buy it and then flip it. So even if you don't like the shoe, still get it. But for me, it's a kick it, put it in my collection, and put it on my feet as soon as I can.
That spread sounds like that Doji spread y'all were talking about.
It's real.
Yeah.
Listen, Kim, I see you nodding your head. Kim, talk to us. Is this a shoe you would kick or pass?
I would kick it, but I probably wouldn't resell it because that's just not my thing. But like in youth ministry, I love the fact that like the tie is turning to where like I can rock some like Jordans and a blazer and a t-shirt and it'd be like a dope look. And so that shoe would go with many of blazers. I don't know why youth pastors all like to wear black shirts, but like every conference we go to was a black shirt. So I definitely rock them joints with some jeans and a blazer and be cool for the young folk. So
yes, ma'am.
I like it.
Conversation piece right there.
Yeah.
Dez is in the chat saying these are fire.
Yeah,
man.
My boy Mendo said he would hard kick for special events.
Okay, black tie.
Right.
Little
That's that Lakeland special. I feel you, Mendo.
Chest out, it's a little chest out, taco meat out, AP,
Taco meat was that?
Your chest hair.
He went to Miami real quick, boy.
He got real south. He got 305.
Let your taco meat out. AP, man, what's up, man? What would you do with this, man? You kick this or pass?
Yes, so Ted has me looking at this from a whole nother angle
Different
right
perspective.
now.
Yeah.
That's why I had him leave this
Whether I
up.
would wear it or not has absolutely nothing to do with my decision right now. I'm looking at that resale value, and if that's on point where he said that's that 400, almost 400, 300 some percent. If
it's real,
that did right, and so yeah, if that's in play. That would be the only reason I would dish out
170. I got you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Gio, what's good, man? Talk to us, man. It's a kick or a pass, man.
Yeah, AJ has convinced me of ones, man. So this is the natural progression. If I'm able to get those, if I'm able to turn that Doji money around, that profit, I can take that and put that towards that. So definitely sounds good. I would kick those easy.
All right. Now, Lex, before you jump out there, you know, as far as SDA pastors, like, there's not many that you know, and I'll say this with all humility, you know, I think I can hold my own with most, right? But there's like 2 or 3 that I just got to tip my hat to when it comes to this sneaker culture. Lex, you're definitely one of those.
It's never been about SDA passes, period. And I mean, her collection is dope.
Yeah, hers.
Yeah.
I
Lex,
got some organ music or something you can play.
talk to us about Jordan 1s, and then in particular this Jordan 1.
Oh man, the shadows, like Ted said, man. The first ones came out like right now. These is the red bottoms right now. Jordan ones.
Yes, sir.
They're very after the last the last dance came out, man. The hype just skyrocketed, and the ones are just one of those to be honest with you. Coming from New York, ones look like uptowns to me, man.
Yep,
They
do.
Air Force Ones, they just was, cheap. They were cheap. Ones was cheap, but after the last dance, people just started getting on to ones. If you're not a sneakerhead and you really wasn't checking for ones, especially the OG colors, that's the thing. It's the OG colorways, and they start making all these other and mids.
You like the mids?
We don't do mids, no. We all right.
Yeah.
We wear old church shoes before we put some mids on. Now we don't do mids.
Yeah,
but definitely ones is one of them shoes you could dress up, dress down, man. Them beaters still look good.
Yep.
So definitely you gotta cop those, man.
Yeah, and I'll pull up the rear. This is a kick, like I like to say, every day of the week. You can kick this every day of the week. Like I said earlier, you can rock a Raiders jersey, Raiders Scully. If you got a Jerry curl, it's okay to break it out. Just rock it, man. You can kick this every day of the week. And Jordan 1 at 170, that's not bad for what you're gonna be able to flip. You're gonna be able to flip this easy, like it's hot, like it's hot. Easy. So this is an easy kick for me. Kim, we started off with you. You said that you would kick this. You feeling the whole vest. The whole Blazers vibe, Blazers and Jays. I like that. So the people are feeling these shoes. So let's go ahead, man, and let's get to the it. The it is the meat of the show. The sneakers are just the white flag. It's just the vehicle to get everybody's guards down. And we can talk about what's going on in society from a Christian point of view.
316.
And 316. We're going to keep it 316. Mask on, mask off. All right.
What's up with the sinister laugh though?
Flashback.
It's just
look, my workout playlist.
I get it. I got it.
So we talking in our warm up. We're talking about reopening
churches.
How y'all feeling? Are y'all ready in the chat? Are y'all ready to go back to church? Do you feel like things are reopening? New CDC guidelines are coming out. We're finding out now that we didn't have to buy all of that wipes to wipe down surfaces and to spray surfaces. This thing isn't really spreading in that manner. And now, Gio, you were saying something about masks, man. Like
they're even looking at indoors eliminating masks. I mean, that's crazy. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because we're coming closer to reaching what is called herd immunity, or what it is, if the vaccination process, and plus the people who've already had the virus. But I just read it today, and I just wanted to kind of just, I guess, deal with it in terms of personal comfort. Even to this day, at my church it's not really a soft opening, but we stream from church. And it's really hard to be in a place without having the mask on, right? and mind you, and this is not a commercial. I'm not advocating for it, but mind you that personally, I have been vaccinated, and even still, I feel as though I must as much precaution as I can in terms of keeping my distance. So I'm kind of intrigued. Our conference, we're going back, and Lex and Pastor Paul knows we're going back July 6th, and we've had pastors meetings about that, and we've had I think we had a doctor once, I think, come on and discuss the entire situation. And so it's interesting because with that comes expectations, right?
Yeah.
Your members expect visitations to go back to how it used to be. They're going to want to have the praise team, the choirs, folk going to want to be on, so there's a lot of expectation that comes with it. And I think that for me, it's not as problematic, but I think that we should really be intentional about how we go about going back into this kind of situation.
I want to ask this. Well, before I ask a question, I want to say this. I learned a long time ago, and I think that the people who led out in the coronavirus efforts, everything, it's okay to say that you don't know. It's okay to say this is something new, this is something novel. We just don't know. We're gonna do everything we can to stay safe, but we just don't know. I like Geo. I'm vaccinated too. I made that decision to do that because I myself dealt with COVID in January. And after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure I have to deal with this again, and my family members have to deal with this again. But my question is to y'all is, now that people have been out of church for so long, do you foresee people going back to church? And if you do you foresee them going back in the same manner? I mean, people have gotten used, here in Orlando, at the Well, you have where, they've been doing driving church for a while now. People come in, in jeans and t-shirt, whatever. So do you foresee people coming back to church, number one? And number two, do you foresee them coming back in the same manner? Panel, y'all can start, panelists.
I'll jump out.
So can I be real? So the other day, we were in Huntsville for my baby's baby dedication at First Church, right? And so that was our first time for real being back in church since literally since being pregnant. So I hadn't been in church in almost a year and a half. And real talk, trying to get all them kids ready for church, I was like, I don't want this in my life. Like, I don't want this struggle in my life. Like, it's crazy that you do something because you're used to doing it, and then when you stop doing it, you're like, why was I doing that? Like, I'm trying to force baby girl into some stockings she don't want to be in. She itching, she crying, she don't want to be in them. I'm mad at her because I'm like, you gonna wear these stockings for Jesus, you know what I mean? And now we're going into church. I'm frazzled as a mom. My kids are already anxious and antsy. These jokers walked into church and was like, you got snacks? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For them being in this place, it's just a place. You know what I mean? And so the hustle and bustle. Listen, by the time me and my husband got in the car, we had to turn the AC up. We was sweating. It was just a struggle. And it creates a certain level of anxiety on top of the fact that I have a baby that can't get vaccinated. And church people don't got no boundaries. They be wanting to kiss your kids,
hold them,
touch your kids, hold them, snatch them up, offer them candy. And I'm like, you're not giving my kids COVID candy. So, the idea of going back into church, especially with my family, is right. Just to be honest, it's very stressful for me. I'm not looking forward to it, even though my job is to literally go around all 5 states in our conference and like go to church. So
I'll be seeing you soon.
And my kids gonna have on jeans and
come as you are.
Pastor Paul, what are your thoughts?
So I have to admit, this thing from preaching from home, when we started, I was not going into the church. I'm preaching from home, right? And I've got a setup here. I got a 38-inch monitor in front of me. I got my iPad in front of me. Got my laptop hooked up to that monitor. And I got some perspective preaching from home that made me look at this thing very differently. And I'm going to be a little bit more real than I think some folk want me to be right now. But I am not a hoopster. I don't have a growl to get on, none of that. I'm fairly laid back in my delivery. But when I finish preaching, the amount of spit that I got to wipe off of my screen and wipe off of my iPad and all that kind of stuff. That put going back into these public spaces like this in a whole new perspective for me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Is this what's happening when we're, somebody is singing on the platform, somebody's saying, hey, good morning, happy Sabbath. And so I'm looking at that in a whole nother light in terms of these fluids that get out into the air and into the midst. And so I have some reservations personally about that for that reason, but I think most of my reservations are this, and I am scared to death that we still have, and my congregation is split. I got folk who can't wait to be back. We ain't doing church right. We have forsaken the assembly of together, all that stuff. And I got other folk who are like, yeah, this is great. I'm staying right here home in my fuzzy slippers, house coat, and rollers, and eating my Cheerios and whatnot during 11 o'clock worship, and they are cool with it. And what is interesting is that I have found that line is not split along an age demographic. I thought that it might be, but I've got old folk and young folk on both sides of that issue. However, I think that the thing that I am more deathly afraid of is that group of people who can't wait to get back to normal. And my fear is that they will get back to normal once we get back into the building. And there's nothing right now about church life that scares me more than that. We had a huge opportunity to take a turn and to make a shift into what we considered to be worship, what we considered to be church, and how it operated and what it was and how we define it and how we execute it and how we engage it. There was that. We had that opportunity, and I don't think, and I'm afraid that we did not take as much advantage of it as we should have. And now people are you got that set of folk, and it's not just members, it's pastors too, who just can't wait because they didn't invest the time and the effort, the energy into studying how to navigate church outside of the four walls, and that scares me to death.
Lex.
I agree 100% with Anslem, man. I agree. The very nature of church is Coronaville. So even the precautions that we're taking, church is so much more. I think what people are missing more than anything now is the fellowship. And so the very nature of that, to say 6 feet apart, man, listen, I went in, this old lady, we were just live streaming. I went down to South Florida, and she hugged me, and I'm like, ma'am, I might survive, but you got like 2 good breaths left.
Exactly.
And nobody's thinking, we want to sing and we want to touch and we want to hug. And I'm also with Kim. I too also have some young kids, and I want to get back to not normal, but I want to get back to some sort of culture of church. I don't think my kids gonna believe in God no more, because let me tell y'all why.
That's not even funny.
But that's actually that's a serious point. Actually,
they are zoomed out. They're zooming for school, church. Sabbath represented something different to them, and because of my job, of course, we can't be as adventurous on Sabbath as we used to be. Now we're stuck here doing program after program after program, and so my kids, they supposed to be on Sabbath school. He on Fortnite.
It's real out here. It's real out here.
That attention span. Yeah, no, that's real.
Real out here.
Can I just I think I want to go back to what, if I may, Clark King, just one little point. What Pastor Paul said is key. We're out here doing virtual church the same way we used to do regular church. Like, we want to put programs after programs, and people don't watch. Like, the average person who watches TV is not going to watch TV all day long. Some churches are doing from Sabbath school all the way to Vespers. Like it's impossible, to be effective in that way. And so the fear for me is the shift that could have been taken, right? That would have allowed us to have a declustered Sabbath. Because as a pastor, I don't care what nobody says, we work on the Sabbath, right? Yeah. And as a pastor, I've been preaching for years. The Sabbath is a day of joy. Why are we having programs stacked up from 9:15 all the way down to 8 p.m.? Right, and so we had a golden opportunity, and I think we missed it.
It's because we Sabbath Christians.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I realize it's a little different in different situations, different places. I will admit, I'm working harder during the pandemic than I was outside.
Yes,
ever.
I do think this is why team ministry is so beautiful. Because I remember when we started realizing that things were getting ready to shut down, we came together as a staff and we talked about what we were going to do. We didn't know what we were going to do. We thought about just kind of shutting it down. And then one of us had this bright idea. Let's just flood the internet with content. It's 4 of us full time. It's 2 of us part time. Let's just flood it with content. The people need content. And that's what we started off doing. Along the way, there was some fatigue. There was some more fatigue. There's some more fatigue. We continue to flood. And because we flooded because of resources, of course, and a boatload of gifts and talents because of where we're located, it was able to really be impactful. And we were able to increase our impact globally. For me, as it comes to reopening, I'm not ready. I'm not in a rush, but I miss church, y'all. I can't speak for nobody else, man, but I just want to be in a room full of folk who love the Lord, who are singing songs of praise, hands upraised. I mean, I want to do a lap, y'all. And I realized I can do a lap in my home.
That Roby lap.
I realized I could do a lap in my home, and there's been some Sabbath, y'all, where perhaps I've almost done a lap in my shower, right? I'm singing in my shower, but I miss praise and worship. I miss being in the building with people. I personally miss it. I'm not rushing to get back to there. And we're not going to do anything at too fast of a rate, but I miss church. I don't miss the suit and the tie, but I miss church.
Oh, you probably can't fit in no way. This COVID snack.
Wow.
Oh, listen, I done bought about 3 new ones. You ain't never told a lie. They on ice right
shoes, now. You don't never. You don't outgrow them.
I agree with.
You put on your COVID-19, man.
I think that and I deal with the generation who's about to take our place, right? I'm dealing with the generation who we are raising to take our jobs. And their mentality, I know you said the line, some of them, yes, are like ready to go to church, but the ones who are ready to go to church are ready to come to an experience, not church. Right. And so, like, I just think that the way we've been doing church, that 11 o'clock hour is holy and sanctified, and that other things can't take place at other times. That model is definitely dead, because I get more interaction from my young people on Friday night than people will on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Right. And so Saturday at 11 o'clock, they're like, I already had church Friday night. So how can you tell me that I'm missing church because I'm not at your service at 11 o'clock on Saturday?
Church
so
a la carte.
So with a la carte, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. We keep looking at church as a thing to arrive at, as opposed to church being an experience that can happen like throughout the week or throughout different times. I'm like, let's get together and let's have Sabbath fellowship. But Sabbath fellowship doesn't have to be in a church for 3 hours listening to an hour's worth of announcements and an hour and a half worth of somebody preaching and then an hour of hymns off key. We
My
can
God.
do something else.
Why they had to be off key though, man?
Let's talk about it. We're in a rush to come to buildings for 12 hours on Sabbath that we have nothing to do with Sunday through Friday. But we paying mad mortgages on them joints. But we not doing nothing
getting hot.
with.
It's getting hot in here.
So y'all can miss me with missing church. Y'all don't miss church through the week.
Listen, we in there. Listen, I don't know about y'all, man. We like Shay said, man. We working hard. Our own youth leader, Prince Lewis. We said we were gonna do something for just cause we ain't think Corona was gonna be this long. We wasn't believing them Chinese. We didn't believe them when they said that. We didn't believe them, so we didn't think when they started dying off, and we was like, oh that and then. So we were like, okay, we're gonna be done by camp meeting, and then it's 2021, and we
About
still
to be too.
Exactly. So it forced us to be creative and forced us to be innovative, and like you did say, Kim, we've got a platform on Friday Night Live, and we have people from all over. That's their community. But we also need to understand that there are different demographics of people. There are people that church was their community. What do we do about that? And they can't, we're social people, and the coronavirus did something that isolated us, which is against how we were created. So we also need to be sensitive to those people where church was their community and make sure that we're not missing them because we're doing better online, or we don't want to be. I don't want to get these kids ready for church. Trust me. But then the only reason you don't hear any noise in my house is because they had some Benadryls.
I'm about that Benjamin. I'm about that.
The Polo Boys got set to bed early.
Man, listen, but it's difficult. It's very difficult here, and you know what I mean. So much of even preaching, and it's not just talking. It's a full body thing. It's a full body dialogue. So it's hard.
So listen. I really feel like. Listen, we done opened up a whole stream of emotions and feelings.
We didn't touch the meat of the
We haven't even gotten to the meat of the show. I'm realizing this thing might go into overtime, y'all. Let's go ahead. I feel like in Kicking It 316 area, we not ready. All right. I'm praying for those who have a mandate to get open. Y'all go ahead. Let the fourth be with you.
Oh, so y'all conference don't have a mandate.
But right now,
I need
there yet.
I need to throw something in on behind of that, just real quick. Go ahead. And I was just talking to some other pastors about this today, and I'm gonna see if I can throw this up on my screen, because I am very on this today.
Nice. I like how you did that.
In our work, creating community will always have greater value than creative content. When we're talking about doing what we do and ministering to who we minister to, and this was talking about in the virtual space, but even in the real space, we've gotten away. If we don't have community, you can have all the creative content you want. But right now, when we get back into our buildings, most of us are going to still stream. And that means that our audiences, our congregations are still going to have this smorgasbord of choices that they can go to. And so there's always going to be a pastor who can preach better than you. There's always going to be a choir that can sing better than yours. There's always going to be a production crew that's tighter than yours. There's always going to be something more polished than you, than what you've got. So what you have that nobody else has is the people that create your community. So if you focus more, I'm not saying that content programming is not important. Yes, be polished, be at the top of your game, be excellent in what you're presenting. However, community is always going to trump that. You've got preachers out there who are preaching the splinters off of their buildings, and you've got somebody else whose choir is trash, whose production value is crappy, all that stuff. But they have 10 times more people attending their services. Why? Because they found a way to create community, to make their virtual space and their real space feel like home to somebody. So I think if we would put more energy and more effort and more discussion and more board meeting hours into how do we
Community.
create that in this space for our people and the people we're trying to reach, then in the long run, we will get better. I mean, we will have, because in our work, what is our work? Our work is making disciples. That's our work. And discipleship happens in community. And I'll check out on that because I know you got to move.
Amen.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
that's
That's
just
good.
huge to me.
That was good. That's good. All right. So the journey continues. A couple weeks ago, we came here and we discussed there's a culture of hurt that is experienced on this journey called life, but in particular Christianity. Each of us, I'm sure, have experienced different levels of hurt. And we wanted to take it to the next step and just kind of deal with what's next. How do we deal with the hurt? How do we prevent some of the hurt? Because the reality of it is people are people and people are going to hurt people. But what can we do from a practical standpoint? So I want to start off just talking about creating safe spaces. Is there a greater need, and how do we go about doing that? And so I want to open that up for discussion. Creating safe places. Is there a need, and how do we go about doing that?
Yeah. I'm gonna wait because if I jump in now, I know folk aren't gonna like what I have to say.
I'll
on
set
it,
it up.
so
I'll start it
yeah.
off. I'll start off. Right. There's definitely a need for safe spaces, and that's in essence that's how Kicking It 316 really took off. Right. We decided. I was working in the youth department in a capacity, and when I would wear sneakers, the young people would comment on them, and from there, relationships were forged, and they were able to talk to me about various things. When you wear sneakers, it's almost as if they say, "Oh, he's cool." All right, and so from there, we decided to take the sneaker culture and just use it as a vehicle and to create a safe space. I remember, and some of you all who've been with us since the beginning, there was one episode where somebody came into the live in the comment section and was like, "Y'all are preachers. Why aren't y'all talking about three angels messages?" And, it was a whole situation.
Yeah.
But the thing about this space was that we didn't even have to defend ourselves. The people said, "Hang in there. It's a safe space. We're gonna get to some topics. Right now, we're just talking about sneakers. It's needed. We need spaces where people can be themselves. They can share what's going on, and we can tackle it. For too long, things have been taboo. And what we have to realize is conversations will take place. They're going to take place in DMs. They're going to take place. Now, these kids got Snapchat. They probably offer Snapchat on to something else now, right? They got it all. Even the little kids, they got Roblox, whatever it is. Everybody's communicating and conversations are taking place for sure. We have to be responsible and care enough to not worry about the insecurities or how uncomfortable something is and have the conversations, create safe places for people to talk and to share and to report. All of that is needed. We need safe spaces. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. What about you all?
I mean, to be honest with you, is really what Pastor Paul was saying. I mean, another word for a safe place could be a community. Different communities. People love shoes. It's the shoe community. People who love the arts. People love music. And I think that a part of our church is the church. Predominantly, we've always had a hierarchy in terms of what community is the most important community. And what happens then is a lot of people who may not be who may not fit neatly within that community sometimes feel left out. And I think that a safe place to me is being able to have people to be comfortable to share their truth and not feel judged, and within that same community, there's also accountability, right? Because someone has to be that right has to be right and wrong has to be wrong, as and so I think that safe places give us an opportunity to minister and to hear and to be accountable to one another, at the same time. So I think that's the beginning. I think that a lot of people who've been hurt in a church, I think from my experience, it always came down to the point where they felt as though they were not valued, right? And in a community, each person ought to feel valued.
But I want to jump in here. Community is not something that can be told.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that has to be modeled from the front. And a lot of times you see these panels, or you see people talking about our church is a church of community, but the pastor come to church, he get in his car, he leave church.
My God,
there's no community like that. So when I was at Oka, one of the things that I really tried to prevent is bringing pastors in and flying people in to preach. You open my kids up for an hour and a half on Friday night, and you get on a plane and you leave and you go back to your church, and my kids are like, but I just gave you all my secrets and all of my stuff, and I poured my heart out, and then you left. And one of the things that just personally in my ministry, I am trying not to do is be a preacher that drops in and preaches about community.
Helicopter.
Yes, but doesn't actually do it. That whole idea of when I preach and then we go to the fellowship hall and the pastor is at the table at the front with his family and all the other people are in these little tables around to the side.
My
That's
God.
not community. I just came and talked to you about my testimony and then sat you in the corner and said, don't talk to me. That's not building community. So just creating spaces where I can come and preach, and then we can talk and kick it, and we can be honest, and I can go deeper into the word or deeper into the experience by saying, okay, we preached about it, because most people are like, that was a good word, but how do I apply that on Tuesday when my boss is getting on my nerves, my family's driving me crazy? And so that happens in community. When coronavirus happened, we started something called Quarantine Q&A on IG. And we started it on Facebook, but we realized the kids ain't on Facebook. We were doing stuff on Facebook so the parents could feel like we were doing something for their kids.
My God.
But not so we were actually doing something for the kids. So we took it to IG. It's a smaller community. We eat snacks. We talk about real life. And these kids were with me when I was pregnant with my baby. When I had the baby, they were like, oh my gosh, you're in the hospital. And I went, like, I FaceTimed the kids on IG after I had the baby. Now, for some people, that might have been like, oh, like boundaries, like this is my thing. But they were with me on Friday nights when I was preaching through contractions. They were with me as, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through that sickness.
Girl.
So when I had the baby, they were a part of that family. And I promise you, those kids that were there, they are still with me to this day.
Yeah.
We have created a family through that. And it's through that authenticity, but modeling from the front what safe community looks like.
It's a dope.
This
It's
is
a
why
dope
we need
space
to
y'all
open
have
up
too.
church though, because Tegan is going straight to hell because she need to go to the house, the altar.
That's my baby. That's my baby. She is a quarantine baby.
Hey, look, I want to say this, and I know this is going to sound maybe a little dark or a little pessimistic or whatnot. I have this notion. I'm gonna do this a little over the top for effect, but I believe that chasing a safe space is like chasing a unicorn. I don't believe that safe places exist. They don't. We talk about them and we desire them. We want them. It's an ideal. It's something we look for. But the greatest hurt takes place in places where people thought they were safe.
Mm.
I was
God.
wounded in the house of my friends. That's where the greatest hurt takes place. And so we create this euphoria place, this place that's supposed to be all safe, and it's not real. Psalms 140, put not your trust in princes or in the arm of flesh. And we create this expectation that people can find this, but the arm of flesh will fail you. The people that you thought were your buddies, were your friends, that you would hold on to your secrets and to all of your private stuff. Those are the people that, when we talk about that conversation you had last week about church hurt, it didn't come from people necessarily who were outright enemies. It came from people who were your friends and are stabbing you in the back. And the reality is, I think for most of us, I think we in our minds that this place can exist. Yes. And while it may exist in pockets, they don't exist in pockets in terms of demographic spaces. They happen in pockets of time, and time moves on. What was happening for you at this point in your life among these people, I guarantee you, if it hasn't changed yet, it will change. That season will change. Yeah. And so I think we've got to begin pushing people towards the ultimate safe place, because if they put their trust in me, and let me say that I have been that preacher who people say, oh, potluck comes around, he stays in his office the whole time. He doesn't come around and come sit down in potluck. Why is it? I won't give you excuse for that, but that happens. Whereas on the flip side of it, there are other people are saying, oh, we love Pastor so much, he makes himself personally available to us during dinner time because he'll let us come into his office and eat with him, whatever. But for somebody, that's not the thing. And so their perception often defines what people think of as a safe place, not necessarily the reality. And so I think we've got to be very careful with promising that we can create a safe place, because people will show up to this thing that we promised with these expectations that we put in their head. And then when it goes south, when it turns the wrong direction, now they don't want to have nothing to do with them folk over there. They don't have nothing to do with those hypocrites and this, that, and the other. And so there's some caution I think we need to have in setting the expectation that everything here is going to be safe. The reality is, you're going to be a Christian and a follower of Christ. It's dangerous. It is literally dangerous. It is dangerous to your emotion. It's dangerous to your mental health. It's dangerous to your physical health. It's dangerous. We're calling people not to be safe, but we're calling people, the man who wrote that book, we're calling people to live dangerously when you're going to be a Christian.
I agree 100%.
I like it.
Oh, go ahead. I agree, man. The church is supposed to be a hospital. You know what I mean? It's where you don't go to the hospital because you're feeling well. You go to the hospital because you're ill. You're sick. So it's when you're your most vulnerable. But here's the thing: you go into the hospital with other sick people. So. And one of the things that we have created with the church, and I agree with you so much, AP. I remember we create a place of, it's artificial, it's very, very artificial, and it's not realistic a lot of times, because of course you are your most vulnerable self because you need the most help, and sometimes we get jaded or disillusioned when we find out that, wait a minute, these people are just like me, sick. So it's like going to the doctor. I don't know if you ever guys go to the doctor and they give you this sheet to fill out, and they ask you all of these things, and you're just like, I don't want the doctor to judge me. So, are you taking other medications? Are you smoking? No. Do you do this?
Wow.
So, but then here's the thing. In order to be healed, I remember one time I went in and I didn't tell the doctor I was taking, it was just supplements. But because of what was recommended, it was going to interact with the supplement. So I had to tell, but I didn't want to be judged, or I didn't think it was important. You know what I mean? And so here's the thing: when we do find people that, wait a minute, I got issues too. I got problems too. And I'm also looking around at everybody that looked like they got it all put together. So now I got to come like I got it put together too. And then when you find out, wait a minute, they're just as messed up as I am. So I think we do have to we ration out grace, and I think we need to just let it out in abundance. Be a little bit more gracious.
Two things I want to say real quick. I think number one is community, a safe place without transparency is almost impossible, right? And I think that there's got to be, that aspect where there's a level of veil protecting, statuses. I think it hinders creating that safe space. And second point, to Anslem's point, I agree that it may be impossible, but I still think that the pursuit of a safe place ought to be, the ideal, right? Even if we may not get there, if you don't get to the moon, at least we get the stars, right? So I think that the stretching ourselves, I think is also necessary.
Great.
That's good. So I saw Kristen. She made a comment early on. She was like, I'm trying to find it, the beginning of it.
About the age of them elders guarding the church door.
Yeah. For example, the age of mean sister or elder running people out of the church has to end.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, those days they got to stop. And when we talk, we're getting ready to, I think that's a good place to kind of pivot, a good place to pivot rather, and deal with accountability and or responsibility. I remember it was a very sad story. We were a reality too. Like we were worshiping at a certain church. YOLO. It was AY. It wasn't underneath the current leadership. It was, I went to school a while ago. I'm not going to date myself. Can't believe I'm
40 years
at
old,
that
y'all.
age
He said
now.
it.
I'm at that age now. I'm at that age where I'm not trying to date myself. Wow. But there was a theology major who we were at AY. She was standing up. She was worshiping God. And a member of the campus church asked her to sit down. Why are you standing up? Her response was, I'm worshiping. The reply to her was, that is not worship. Now, my issue is praise God, this was somebody who was rooted, grounded in what they believed, and no matter what the person was going to say to them was going to really ruin them or hurt them in that manner. Mm-hmm. But what if that was a visitor? What if this was their first experience worshiping at the Adventist church or at any church, right? And that was said to them, sit down. That's not how you worship. I mean, the day of that type of attitudes and people literally running people out of the church, it has to stop. We talked about it on the last episode of part one, rather, where if churches have the gall and the audacity to bring unwed parents and disfellowship them and to censor them and do X, Y, and Z, then what are we going to do about these mean people who are running people out of the church? I'm talking about people who know they have no tact, they have no finesse, barely any love in them. You're not the one to talk to somebody about their clothes, right? You're not the one to talk to them about what is dangling and what is not. You are not the one to do that, right? And so there needs to be accountability, and people got to take up the. No, I'm so serious about this, Joy. Like some of the meanest people be on the door ushering people in.
I'm looking at Nate's
right, Nate
comment.
said cough on them.
I'm not gonna post it past. I'm not gonna post it past allowed.
What Nate done
Nate
said?
said cough on them.
Cough on them.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Not today. Not this generation.
That's a lawsuit.
Oh my God.
I
Somebody
agree
take his keyboard.
I agree with what you said, Shay, and I think that that's so important. But that's where accountability and like gone are the days where we're like, oh, that's just sister so and so. Nah, like that can't just be sister so-and-so, because so much church hurt revolves around people knowing that people are the way they are and everybody excusing it by saying that's just the way they are. Oh, deacon so-and-so, he just be looking at girls like that. That's just the way that he is. Oh, sister so-and-so, she always got something to say. That's just the way she is. Or whoever is, whatever ministry, they just mean like that. Don't pay them no mind. No, we have got to start, if we are going to be the church that God is, that we want to talk about, the church of Acts and the remnant, all of that. That was a church that was able to come together and give what they had, but also to be accountable to each other. It's high time for us to start saying, yo, you are not nice and you need to sit down. No, we're not going to reelect you. No, you can't be on the nominating committee no more. I'm sorry that this is the only place where you feel like you can get respect, but you're going to have to go find that somewhere else. Like, it's not enough for us to have good programs and good ministry and the people who are receiving them. Like, I'm so sick. Listen, when I got married and invited my non-Adventist family to church, that was the scariest moment for me. Wow. Because I knew that they would be introduced to Adventism. And luckily, praise God, and it's not, to speak for everybody, luckily they were coming into First Church where for the most part, people are kind and generous, but you weren't there, Shay. I got up in church and was like, my family's coming this weekend. Y'all better smile. I'm not playing with nothing. I better be nice. Because if that's your first introduction and you don't even know the standard greeting, happy Sabbath, blessed, and highly favored. God, you don't know that. You just walk in and somebody's mean mugging you. I'm never coming back to your church.
Head should mean mugging.
So I have a question. So for those who may be watching who have been through church hurt or may in the future experience church hurt, since we understand that as Anslem pointed out, the flesh will always fail us. How do we help? How do we safeguard? And how do we help people heal? I'll let all y'all wise people.
So can I be honest in this space? Can I be real?
Always.
100.
So part of healing comes from calling sin by its right name. Can I just be honest? Like, some of the greatest church hurt that I have experienced was by people watching me be hurt, coming and pulling me aside and saying, oh, we know that you're being hurt. Man, wish we could help you out, but that's just the way it is. And I'm like, so you see me getting hit by the truck. You see me getting run over. You see me being talked about as a female in ministry. You see me being abused by power. You see me going through these things that I'm going through. And all you can offer me is if you need me, I got you. Nah, like, say something, do something, call it out. Even if you're not in a position where you can do something, what you can do is not invite them to your house for potluck and have the same people who are molesting people and touching people or hurting people or using their power to abuse people at your Sabbath potluck. Like, those are some of the small things that you can do, is literally just calling it by its name and saying what it is. And then the other thing is saying, I'm sorry. I don't know what our church has against saying I'm sorry, but just straight up saying, I am so sorry. We kicked your mom out when she was pregnant with you. I apologize. Now you have a safe space to bring back the generation that was disfellowed because you acknowledge what you did to the mom, to the grandma, to the community. Like, just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking up all your church, all your parking spaces on Sabbath afternoon, but never coming by to see if y'all got food in your fridge.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think some of those phrases that we use along the lines of what Kim said, I think just personally, one of the things that I have struggled with just as a pastor in my role is when people will come and tell me, and they will assert it. They'll say it many different ways, but in essence, what they're saying is that because it happened, it was God's will. and you know, those are things that irk me to my core. That they not only hurt, but they make me angry. And when we tell, so that rationale goes to that young girl who was molested by that elder or by that pastor. You're going to go and tell her that because it happened, it was God's will. Well, it was God's. Nothing happens without God. And it's like we've got to find a way to talk to people. And I was just having a conversation the other way. The concept of God's permissive will versus his, what's the other term we use? Versus universal will, or whatever, however we say that, is, you know, overarching
individual will. Yeah, individual. Yeah.
I'm like, that thing, permissive will, is a bane to our theology. It is it makes it sound like that God is the agent in the negative stuff and the bad stuff that happens, and we create then inadvertently a picture of God that says, yes, this woman was raped and it was God's permissive will. Will indicates that God desired it, that he wanted it to happen. And so that term itself, when we're dealing with people who are hurting, and we say that it was God's permissive will, or that because it happened that it was God's will,
God allowed it. Yeah,
I think we gotta have some.
We gotta rephrase that,
right? Yeah, some real deep discussions on that.
I feel you. I mean, we talk a lot about social justice here, and I say all the time, I don't like defund the police, but I understand the principle behind it. I see how that's one of those things, that whole permissive will. I see that. Lexi, she feels some kind of, what you say?
I ain't gonna say nothing.
I know that didn't quite answer your question, Ted, but
let me say this to Ted. I think we have to get up and go out. And I think Kim said something that is so on point. The words, I am sorry. Even as when you come in as a new pastor, even if you're not the pastor that the hurt happened under, or you did the hurt, when you show up on scene, day 10, day 1, whatever, you're the new pastor and you're here and you're checking up on somebody who has experienced deep hurt, it goes so far. I was visiting an old church that I was an associate. I was visiting Patmos Chapel. I mean, how many places were I associated? And and they were having a concert. And at this time every year, the youth choir will come and have a reunion concert. AP, right? Anointed Praise. And listen, I'm talking about 200, 250 young people who come back from they've gone their own separate ways all across the nation. They come back for this reunion weekend. I was sitting in the audience for this concert. At the end of the concert, you know, the host pastor wasn't there. I think he wasn't feeling well, or what have you. And the associate pastor was doing some prep work for a mission trip. So they were looking for somebody to do closing prayer. I was trying to be tucked in incognito. Somebody saw me. They asked me up to give closing prayer. All right. It was my honor, right? I go up, I say some words. I felt impressed to apologize to these young people. If you don't know the history of Patmos Chapel, there was a significant split in the church, and to the point to where families, I mean, one cousin's at Patmos, the next cousin went to another church. It was deep. It was a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even there, right? But I just felt the need to say, I am sorry. I turned around, I looked at the young people, and I said, listen, I might not have been here. I've heard what you all have gone through, and on behalf of the church, I want to tell you that I am sorry. Do you know that these young people after church, they came, surrounded me, and said, nobody has ever apologized to us. It meant so much. And y'all, we gone on the days where we don't say I'm sorry. Like, how is it that we can see somebody hurting? We know what they need, and we withhold that from them. Yeah. We have to get out into the street. We have to go to these doors. Of course, I know it's COVID. You know, we got to find a way to social distance, but we have to get out here And we gotta apologize to people and let them know. And day one, when you go and apologize, they may not come back. It doesn't stop. It doesn't start and stop with an apology. You have to be sincere, and you got to work on it, man. We got to show them that change is coming. It's no, we're not perfect, right? But we got to make an effort, man. We can't just sit back on our hands. We do things that are so disgusting, so hurtful to people, and then we expect them to be the bigger Christian and to come back to church. It's just not. We. It's just we gotta do better, y'all. We gotta go after people. We have to go. We have to pursue them.
Accountability too.
Absolutely. That's a word.
So I don't see Lex.
Right. I was waiting for Lex to go in.
The people want to hear Lex speak, but AP. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Get some shoes out. Let's go.
I have to get some juice on my computer.
Oh, they don't know
those
about
actually
those.
dope. Those actually dope. Actually,
I got my Hocus.
Those next level.
So those hiking shoes.
Yeah.
So Lex, man, what's going? Talk to us. How you feeling?
I'm great, man. I'm doing great. I'm trusting in the Lord and holding on. I had to take my Luton clothes off, after the Derek Chauvin
Luton.
after the verdict came back.
She's about to loot.
She's about to lose.
I want to know what we got, what you bring. I'm going to stop. Let me hush.
But Lex,
Yeah.
you deal with public campuses a lot. So you're dealing with, I think, a larger majority of unchurched than many pastors will deal with, generally speaking. So when you talk to them about church, what are they saying to you?
I don't talk to them about church. Here's the thing with Adventists. We automatically go into places thinking that we have to convert people. We automatically believe that they don't know, if they're not Adventists, they don't know God or exactly. So we go in thinking that, number one, we can't learn anything from anybody else. We have this arrogant, cocky attitude as if our God is in this box. And that's where he is. And so I'm bringing him to you, and you let him get out this box. That's how little our God is. And God is saying, yo, let me out. Yo, who you talking to? I hang the world on nothing. You know what I mean? And so we go in here, and so people just want to know that you're real. They want to know your experiences. They want to know how God is real for you. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear all that. And here's the thing with children, and I learned that when I had my first child, that they see through the nonsense. They will call you out on it. Young people will see through the nonsense, and you know what they'll do? They'll pull back. They will pull back, or they'll play games with you. You want to hear the games? Let's play games. Until you're real and you're saying, hey, listen to me. Listen to me. Because we're trying to fix problems that we don't even understand. There's a whole new generation. And so one of the things that I do is just allow the Holy Spirit to work with me and through me. And I just am. And they will gravitate towards that. People gravitate towards being, not doing, just being. Flaws and all. They appreciate that.
Thank you.
That two-way communication is key. You said that, Lex, about not always being the one who you can learn. It's okay to learn some things, and I think people are more receptive to what you have to say when they know that you're willing to hear them out.
Yes.
And grow
yes,
with them.
Yes. And not judge, but also offering, I think, too, real life solutions. Kim said that. These kids, I show up for these kids. Graduations, I'm cash apping. You know what I'm saying? Not blessings. Nah, what's your cash app? What's your listen? Not to toot my horn, but I did a week of prayer. Let me tell you what I did. These kids, and I'm talking about I allowed these kids to do I came from the book of Elijah, and I gave them an incentive. Listen, I'm going to give you a quiz at the end. You know what was the prizes? Kicks, sneakers. Listen, every night they were bringing their friends on. I was making up categories just so they could get sneakers and book bags. Prince Louis did the same thing. Hey, what can we do? Hey, we gave away some. We giving out Yeezys. Do the quiz, and they're actually learning, because there are things that I'm talking about that they have to read, because I didn't actually talk about it in the in the week of prayer. You know, so I'm like, listen, chapters 1 through 3, I'm gonna say something in there, and I'm talking about especially a lot of young men. It's hard to get these young men in here, and they're asking questions. And you're honest. Sometimes I don't know, but let's find out together. So
That's
we
good.
come in as well,
Yeah.
all students of the word, and give them stuff, that practical stuff that they can use. Man, don't nobody want no steps to Christ.
Yeah. That's
Come on.
real. That's real.
I love me some Step to Christ.
Not right
love
then.
it.
I do. Don't get me
Not
wrong.
then,
I
not
do
then.
love. I love steps to Christ. But give me some kicks I can step on to get on them steps first with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, give me that MAPCO MAPCO gas card, okay?
Y'all better get y'all gas.
Fill my tank, Lord, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in that big sphere of things, everybody, no matter where you are in life, has experienced some kind of hurt. Hurt at home, hurt in the classroom, hurt in the workplace, hurt at church. And I think that kind of brings us full circle back to the importance of community, is that when people talk in community, and when more people talk, I can share with you, listen, I've had some hurt. This is how I dealt with it. If I'm the only one talking to you, different people handle hurt differently. There's stuff that I have been hurt by that nobody has come and said boo to me about. I've gotten through it without anybody trying to help me through it, right? And I can say, hey, this is what worked for me. But the reality is, what worked for me may not work for you. It may be a turnoff for you. It may hurt you more. So we need more people sharing their experiences and how they got through it. We need to create spaces where people can share. This is what has happened to me. This is how I got through it. Some people may be turned off from that, but the person sitting next to them might be exactly what they needed to hear.
Yeah.
And so I think creating those spaces where we get to talk about our hurt and share how we got through it. That means that Ted, to your original question, there may not be a single answer to that, but in community, we get to come up with more of those answers from our shared experiences.
That's it.
I like it. I think this is a good place to put a comma. I don't think we're quite at a full stop. It's something that we're gonna have to, I think, unpack again, some more. But I want to thank each and every one of you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to kick it with us. And for sure, I hope that this is not the last time. We would love to have you all back, not just for this topic, but each of you all are specialists in your own specific areas. And we like kicking it with y'all, man. The people like you all. It was a whole vibe. And I thank you all for coming out with us. As you all know, a part of the show is the sneaker reveal. And so I've asked our guests to kind of just bring a little kick or two, show us what you got. Kim, I see you rocking. You may not be able to reach. Okay. So AP, man, you flex a little bit. Talk to us a little bit what you got and bring the people up to speed, because when they see these, they may not understand what's in your hand. So talk us through it.
So I didn't know I was going to do this, but I just had these on hand. Just
you was ready.
These are Hokas. Anybody know what Hokas? These are some of the most plushly cushioned shoes out on the market. So if you've got feet that are trash like mine, that I want to trade mine in like every day.
You was walking through the valley of shadow of death.
Every single day. But all those years in gymnastics where I done broken all kind of bones in my feet and trying to ball out on the court, trying to dunk on Croc when he was like 3 months old and didn't know no better. You know, all that stuff made my feet. I've got, you know, huge plantar fasciitis issues, but shoes like Hoka's help make for you got hurt feet. Hoka's are a great way to go. They've got good arch support, but more than that, it just feels like you're walking on cotton candy with a little extra support underneath there. So Hoka, call me, you owe me
Listen.
Need a sponsorship,
I first found out about Hoka's through actually it was Desiree. Dara, her husband, had a pair. And when she showed me those, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, what are those? Right? But I had to look into it. And if you're a runner, and now I'm learning they even do hiking boots.
Yeah.
These are next level. The looks, don't worry about the looks per se. They're gonna look bulky. But if you want to be comfortable, you want to have some good gear.
They're practical shoes.
Very, very practical. I guess they kind of look like those Kobe's, huh? Like you were talking about AP. You said they look like Pedite. What'd you say? What?
Them Dr.
shoes.
The orthopedic shoes, right?
Oh, I didn't say the Kobe's look like that. I said they look like the baby shoes that got bronze, the Kobe's. That was the gold and purple shoes, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the bronze shoes.
You're right. Lex, man, talk to us. You got a little drip, man?
Lex with the flex. What's up?
Man, you told me to,
I said bring three. I said three. I said
pick one.
It was hard. Okay,
I want three. I want the three.
One of my favorites right here. Of course, you know the top three.
Top three.
Yeah.
Doing the top threes. My personal grails. My grails are. I got a couple of pairs of these. My grails. I got one to rock.
Concord.
Yes, Concord.
I remember
these
those.
Are still that stock.
Ooh.
They're that stock right now. Then we got.
You just throwing them out like that. That's what we
I'm
doing.
a girl, that's my favorite right here. I'm a girl.
Ooh. Yo, what's your address again? What
and
size?
You can't go wrong with the Tims.
That's what I know.
You can't go wrong with the Tims.
That's what I know.
I love it. Lex with the drip. Lex with the flex.
Like Kim ready.
Right. Kim, you ready?
I am ready.
Talk to us. What you got there?
So
got a baby.
My hubs just blessed me with the
Vapor Max.
Vapor Max, the new joints.
I like the color.
The color,
yeah, man, the colors are great. I don't know if
Skittles.
y'all.
Is that knit? Is it knit? Looks like it's knit.
Skittles.
It is. It's the fly knit, the 2020 fly knit.
Wow.
With the little release on the joint, the lock on the back.
Ooh.
These are
good man you got there.
Yeah, listen, these are utility shoes, okay? Like
I love
these
it.
are everything, and I love them because they got the little sock fit at the top.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So it doesn't have that uncomfortable like
on your ankles.
On the ankles. These joints.
I'm feeling those.
Rocking them.
We kicking that every day.
Shout out to Bay. He's a sneakerhead. Now, before we got married, he'll probably say I am the demise to his Nike collection. But he had every Nike known man in the box.
I believe it. I believe you.
Oh, there he is.
Let's make it big.
Yeah, I got 1 through 23, 3 times plus the black cats, plus the whiteouts. And now, therefore, I only have 4 pairs of retro ones.
Yeah.
And she's got all the shoes. And then I got 4 kids. So, therefore, all of my J's are them.
It is true.
Mercy.
It has been proven.
Real life.
He traded in his J's for a T.
Okay.
That's sweet.
I like how you did that. Ted, man, you have our 316 moment of the day. This is a moment where we dive into some words, man. Give us a word, man. Talk to the people.
Yeah, man. So in 2011, while I was in law school, I found some time to write a book. It was called Simple Words, the Daily Motivational Journal. This is it right here. So I just want to share something that I wrote in here. The quote, and what it was, I would always come up with these quotes, and everybody kept saying, just write a book about it, write a book. So that's what I did. So it's a quote, and then there's a thought that I had. So I thought this quote was apropos for today. It says, perception enables us to use pain as a tool for growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, I don't know how many people, if any, that enjoy pain. We run to the medicine cabinet as soon as we feel pain on its way. We can view pain as a horrible, unnecessary inconvenience, but we can also see pain in a positive light. The right perception will enable you to realize that every inkling of pain can be used as motivation. You can either do something to deal with the pain, or you can stay where you are and allow the pain to win. So once again, perception enables us to use pain as a tool for growth. So for those who have been hurt, for those who are going through hurt, I don't want you to look at hurt as the end, but look at it as a beginning to be able to push yourself to something greater. So
come on, somebody.
thank y'all.
Listen,
Pastor
Thank y'all for being
Emeritus.
listen, we don't just wear sneakers here, man. We
Pastor
author
Emeritus.
books. Come on, somebody. So, man, can the people still get this book? How can they get their hands on this book, man?
They gotta reach out to me directly, brother.
Okay.
I still
Hey,
got a box
independent.
left.
Master
Yeah, I
P.
still got-
He Master P over here.
Yeah, I
huh?
still got a box left.
We got some boxes in the house.
I like it. Got your own distribution. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Y'all, man, this was a great show, man. We thank our guests for coming on. And also, in addition to our guests, those who are online, the comment section, it was lit again. This is back-to-back weeks, and we're grateful for you all. Those who liked, those who shared, and those who were just here. Whatever fashion you were here, we're grateful. And there's going to be some people who are going to watch this later on in the week. We're grateful for you all, too. And we'll be here again, God willing, next week for another episode of Kicking It 316. Are we out?
We out, baby.
DJ.
Hold on. We're not out yet. We're not out yet. We out now.
Hey, come on, baby.